I guess one of the things that hasn't really surprised me much in the project that we've done in my war, that you mentioned some of the solutions that yes, is the ways in which Australia's international obligations, commitments that regulations ways in which particularly free trade agreements, but also the UNESCO conventions that Australia must to be positive mechanisms to achieve helpful ends. I guess the concern that I have with well is the debate that seems to be going on in some of the ways in which national possibly may be framed. This is a very instant debate. Remembering culture is actually something that is relational, rather than possessive, or something that is forward in terms of an international dialogue as much as an internal national dialogue. I guess one of the things that I personally would like to see in terms of, I guess, my research in the past that I'm going to CCI is develop the ways in which an understanding of what it means to be Australian, or what Australia is, what Australia in the 21st century stands for, is not necessarily bound by understanding what countries but actually what our relations internationally are and how we can achieve some of our goals through international tension. There are serious, quite serious issues arising out of the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement in terms of what that may do, what impact that may have on relations to customers, certainly just as previous free trade agreements have impact on but equally there are international agreements that encourage Australia to be much more active in developing international relations elsewhere in the world. But that projection
I think that was the question.
I agree with you completely. And my reference to Nutritious was much more related to quality rather than the source. And I'm also not sure, you know, I think I said it a few times in there, one of the most fundamental elements of what we do with culture in Australia and arts and also the creativity agenda is to recognise exactly what I said earlier, that we are a nation of many nations. It's absolutely no sense that we're jingoistic or we're, you know, proudly ochre going back to the, you know, the Bazza McKenzie kind of era. There's, when I talked about the links to our diplomatic agenda, we should be proud of the fact that the National Gallery has one of the most significant Indian collections, Indian arts collections, one of the most significant Indonesian batik collections in the world. We should be letting the world know about that. We should be triumphing that when we get international visitors to demonstrate that Australia is an outward-looking country that not only respects, but we also treasure the cultures and the contribution that people are making. So, you know, I hope I left no one with any understanding other than, you know, the cultural policy at its absolute fundamental is about our place in the world. So, but I, you know, I agree with the observations you make, no doubt.
Well, if you've got a really quick question, Brian.
Very quick.
Really quick.
Kerry's review a couple of years ago, the Venturous Australia
Stand up with the microphone.
Okay, Terry's review a couple of years ago, the innovation review, came up with an idea that I think a lot of people are thinking aloud nowadays, which is we've got this great free competitive platform of publicly funded material in cultural archives across the country. Let's get some of that information flowing out and let's see what we can do on top of that. Now, there are pockets there. We know that there are things happening, but it is pretty slow. We've got sort of two important people here, Malcolm and Richard, doing things around this space. So I'm just wondering, and Terry's review, I'm not sure we'll cover this specific issue, but I'd be very keen to sort of get a feel for where you think we are up to with this idea of, I suppose, liberating some of our cultural heritage to do what Terry said before, to use it and practice it, you know, both in the education and the sort of the industry area as well.
Okay, that's the question.
Agree with you completely. I mentioned the importance of digitising our cultural networks, not just for preservation. That's absolutely essential for those that are subject to damage through time. But it is also about knowledge transfer. In a way, digitising is the easy part of it. Getting that done, it's expensive, it's extremely expensive, but that's relatively easy unless you've got a weather eye to the means by which that can be packaged in tangible chunks, that kids in Broken Hill can look at the National Library collection, that people anywhere can have a virtual tour of the National Gallery. The Prime Minister the other day at the National Literary Awards referred to it as the democratisation of information, and it's absolutely front and centre.
Thank you.
I think a lot of it's about confidence, and I think we've laboured under the great boon and the great problem of being a base in English language culture, and therefore almost by definition regional. And of course the opportunity which is offered by our truly unique culture, the Indigenous culture, and our truly unique culture, the multicultural mosaic that has developed here, hasn't quite sunk in. They are truly unique, and they should give the confidence for a global stance of the kind you're talking about, but it's a work in progress, I think it's fair to say.
Well, I'd like you to join with me in thanking very much Terry. This may well be a unique moment in Australian public policy where these three representatives of these three processes actually speak and talk in public. You've probably talked lots, not in public, but to bring you together and hear the depth of challenge, particularly I think the solutioneering challenge that Malcolm's thrown to us. Everyone, to borrow a Paul Keatingism, you can, every galah in the galah shop can talk the problems. It's the ones who can come up with solutions, and that's a real challenge for people who want to play in policy. So I really thank the three of you for throwing us that challenge. Can I, a couple of bits of housekeeping. I know it's been a long session, but coffee's on the way and it's outside. The Centre is running a one-day symposium that seeks to generate informed input into the Convergence review, which is called Content Crisis and Convergence. It's on the 8th of August in Sydney at our node at the University of New South Wales, the downtown campus of the University of New South Wales. There are multiples of this flyer. If you haven't received information on this before, they're outside, and you're all welcome to participate in that. It's a workshop designed to promote informed responses to Malcolm's and his colleagues' review. You might also want to look at the Centre of Excellence's submission to the Convergence review, which will be one of, well, there will be more than one, but this was the one that we put in recently, and there are multiples of that outside for your interest as well. And a related announcement, Richard will be at an event in Sydney run by the Council for Humanities, Arts and Social Sciences, which I'll be chairing on the 2nd of August at the Parramatta campus of the University of Western Sydney on the National Cultural Policy, again with the express purpose of generating informed responses to the National Cultural Policy process. So if you want more information on that, I can give you contacts, or you can go to the CHAS website. Now I'm going to ask Jen you wanted to say something about...
No, I'm sorting it out guerrilla style.
All right, fine. Okay, nothing plenary on that.
No.
And the final announcement is that when we're not going to... Are we going to go into the book review right now, or
No,
put it outside? Yeah. So morning tea now. Morning tea. Okay, you can be released, but there is a book launch taking place during morning tea outside. Thank you, everyone.
Yes.